Welcome to the Esthering podcast, Life in the Ozone, where what you've been through matters. I'm your host, Adrianne B. Jackson, ABJ, the Esthering Queen. Today's episode is titled "Here's What I've Learned." And so here's what I've learned. I've learned to take advantage of today. I learned to take advantage of today. When I think back on the things that I've done, I'm grateful to be able to say I've been to Germany, lived there. I've been to France. I've been to Holland. I've been to Turkey. I've been to Spain. I've been to Korea, lived there also. I've been to Amsterdam. I've been to Canada, and I lived near there. So I've been there quite a few times. And that all was before the age of 25. Life in the ozone is great because of the memories I have, the experiences, the people, the cultures I've been blessed to witness. And I do realize how it has molded me as a person. The discussions I can be in and add to and share my thoughts on are vast simply based on my travels. Yeah, so here's what I've learned and here's what I want to share. Okay, here's what I've learned and here's what I want to share that goes beyond traveling because since the age of 25, I've traveled 3 or 4 times as much to many different places. And that travel bug is contagious. So if you haven't dipped your toes into traveling yet, please know that once you get started, you got the bug, or you can catch that bug. I'm going to take you on my solo journey to Cairo and Alexandria, Egypt. I have well over 100, well, I have about 181 pictures to share. Okay, I have about 181 pictures to share. I'm glad I wanted to tell you guys that prior to today, I have been trying to produce this particular episode, and it has definitely been all kinds of trials. Okay, all kinds of trials. Okay, so I just am happy to have been able to fight my way back to here because I said, okay, I got something I want to put out. I put it together. And then in putting it together, I found a way to create a digital product. And you'll see that soon. Yeah, I found a way. It's coming. So stay right there. And I'm going to show you what I use to create my digital product. I need this coffee because I'm wearing myself out. And I have not, nope, I haven't eaten today. Well, let me take that back. I had one boiled egg and I had my first cup of coffee. This is my second cup of coffee. I'm so glad. I'm so glad to be back here with you guys. Oh my God. Episode 17. If I could own, I'm going to begin. I'm going to tell you before we get started. I have to tell you before we get started. Okay. And I am going to make this very short. I'm going to make it short and sweet. I'm going to make it short and sweet for you guys, but I must share with you because, it's life in the ozone where what you've been through matters, right? So I'm sitting here before you today, determined, okay, determined for a great output of this episode 17. I've put together some videos that we're going to just chop up in there, right? It's about 4 or 5 videos that we're going to just go through sequentially, and it's going to be great. It's the pictures that I'm going to share of my travels while I was in Egypt and I visited Cairo and Alexandria. But prior to that, I have to tell you what happened. So I changed my services, I didn't really change Xfinity because Xfinity was always my cable service, but I changed my mobile services to Xfinity. And in doing that, it jacked up my cable services. And I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. Let me take that back. Rewind. Okay. I changed my phone services from T-Mobile to Xfinity, but at the same time, I did that because I was calling and I'm always trying to get a deal. Always trying to get a deal. Not always trying to get a deal. But what I'm trying to say is I always try to make sure that they're not overcharging me if there's a new package, a new plan that came out, some kind of way where I can get on a new plan or they can apply a new package to my account and lower my monthly fees because cable, everybody who got cable or don't have cable, they know what's up. It's expensive. Cable is expensive. It's pricey. It's pricey. It's not expensive to those who can afford it, but it's pricey to the average working man or woman like myself. So I call in and I request for them to check and see if there's a plan or anything that they can do that might help me, you know, have a discounted price. While there, they tell me, oh, yeah, we do have a new plan, bada bada bing, bada bada bang, and we're going to give it to you, point blank. Hold on, and all, you hold on 50 million thousand times, and they come back and forth, and they work out the plan for you. You give your name, your number, and all that other junk 5,000 times, and then, you wait, and they come back. You know how, you know what it is. But if you're trying to get this discount, what you do? You be like, okay, all right, you be patient. I'll be here. So they did that. In doing that, they told me, "Oh, ma'am, you know what? Your stuff is so old. Your the cable boxes and stuff, your equipment is so old. We need you. We're gonna do it. Okay, give you the new your new phone service also, and we're gonna give you the new package plan with your for your services. It's gonna lower your rates, monthly rates, and you're gonna be good. But you're gonna need to bring in those boxes. Fine. So I go through all the verifications and confirming everything with them, and I'm good. I'm done. It took forever, and trust me, it is not as cut and dry as I'm telling you because we went through a lot with the phone switch over. We went through a lot with that phone switch over. My family members who are on my phone plan was not happy with me because we all lost service for at least 12 hours or more. Okay. More than I probably a day. Okay, so we're not going to dwell on that though. So, but the bottom line is, I need to go get my new cable boxes. In the midst of all that, while they were doing their thing, I was doing my thing, preparing this episode 17, right? So I could put it out. And when I got ready, I just forgot all about the fact that I'm supposed to go and pick up the new cable boxes. Boom, bam. The boom, bam is I forgot. I didn't go. I just came in here, sat down, and was ready. Oh, wait. Let's not. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? It wasn't here the last time. Episode 17. I believe this is the first time it's shown. I do believe. Okay. So, yeah, I have my LED sign, and I love it. It says the Esthering Podcast Studio established in 2025. Okay, I'm thinking maybe now next we'll get some lights to go behind it, and we're gonna keep doing what we gotta do to get better. Okay, so let's move forward. You know why we here. I told you what happened that devastated me, and trust me, I made light of it. I did not tell you the nitty gritty of what went down with my services in this box. I just wanted to kind of get that out to you so you know what's going on. And we're going to move forward because we're here to talk about. Um, Here's what I've learned, but I've told you what I've learned. I told you that um, traveling I've learned that all my traveling has made me the person that I am today, and I'm ever so thankful of it. And then doing the creation of this podcast, I learned and made a digital product. Okay, so we're going to go into real quick. Me telling you about this digital product is fast. The If you're interested in creating this uh, uh, video like I did, okay, you're going to be also able to utilize my digital product. I'm going to just go on and get into it, okay? I'm going to go on and get into it because I don't want you, I don't want to hold you up any more than we already have to. So here is the digital product. Here is what made me create this digital, help me create this digital product. So the Photomyne app enabled me to download my physical photos into my phone, which allowed me to be able to present them in these video forms that I'm about to show you. Okay, so thanks, Photomyne. And if you are interested in how to do just what I did, take your physical photos and using Photomyne and InShot, because I use InShot and Photomyne. So if you are interested in learning how to do that, I created a digital product. Here's where that comes in. I created a digital product, and or you can access it right below. Use that link in the description. Okay. Use that link in the description. I'm proud of this. I'm proud of this. Okay. So, Photomyne is my digital product. And you already know about this, what's about to come up. And then we're going to get straight into my trip to Egypt.
Look what just came in. I had to share it because this is not your average coloring book. The designs in this are so different from the usual mandala style. They're fun, modern, and honestly just super relatable. Perfect if you're a teen or adult who loves to color but wants something that actually reflects your vibe. Also, check out the Esthering logo on the back. It is such a cool signature touch. And here's what really got me. 10% of all sales go towards supporting foster children. So not only are you getting something fun and relaxing, you're also helping make a real impact.
So, just in case you didn't know that I created that particular book, I got my digital product, I got my mandala coloring book. I got those things out there. Okay. But before we get into the video, before we get into this video, I need to set a stage. I want to set this stage. The stage is, I was working for the U.S. government as a contractor in Kuwait. Not only working for the U.S. government as a contractor, I was working as a overseas U.S. government contractor in danger zones. Okay, so the stage I'm setting is, well, now I'm in Kuwait, but in 2003, when I first got to Kuwait, there was danger. Kuwait is pretty, quote unquote, I'm going to say safe now, right? Because the whole world is, quote unquote, safe now. But since 2003, Kuwait has been pretty safe, I would say very safe. So I was working as a U.S. government contractor in Kuwait. It was the year 2004. Okay, 2004. That was over 21 years ago. Okay, before a lot of us even dreamt about visiting Egypt. Okay, when I went to Egypt. Okay, before social media was even like dreamt of, probably. So Egypt was for a place like Egypt was for the explorers of the world. Think about it, 2003, 4. This was 2004 for me, but 2004. Who went to Egypt? And people who were more like exploring the world, they went, they took that chance and went out there to Egypt. And when I went to Egypt in 2004, it was yeah, pretty rough as far as the cultivation of it. You know, a lot of things were there because I did enjoy a lot, but you're gonna see, okay? So Egypt was for the explorers of the world and people like me, people given the opportunity to be positioned in a place like Kuwait, which was only like um 2.5 to 3 hour. It was only a 2.5 to 3 hour plane ride. So it wasn't like I was leaving Kuwait and traveling to Egypt for 18 hours. Okay, or 14 hours like we do now. We get on a plane and we go to Dubai, a 14-hour plane ride. If you got a direct flight, if you got a direct flight. So I went to Kuwait. It was only a 2.5 to 3 hour plane ride, and because there are a lot of Egyptians in Kuwait, I felt accustomed to interacting with them and curious to know more of where they came from. So after plotting and planning, that's what I do when I decide I'm going to go somewhere, think about that I possibly might want to go somewhere, I start doing my research. Okay. And sometimes when I do my research, that could make me change my mind about going somewhere. Be like, no, not now, maybe not never. But depending on what's the safety of that place. But Egypt was pretty safe. So I was plotting and planning my trip to Egypt. And in May of 2004, I was ready to fly. Okay. Let me also say, and I'm going to stop saying all that. Okay. That's just a little thing I do. Okay. Let me also say this before we get into the video I have to share with you. The overseas danger zone contracting world is predominantly a man's world. So if you would have a friend there, it would most likely be, men friends. Females were there, but there was just still so few. And at the time, I really didn't have any close working friends, in my life at the time. So when I left to venture out on my own, I knew that I was going to be going, alone. It wasn't with someone, and that's just how I was going to do it. And soon you'll get to know this about me. I was going to go. If I say I was going to go, I'm going. Normally, what I do is I always make plans for where I want to go, get everything done and set up. I'm going. Okay. And if someone later wants to join me, they can. But I'm going. Okay. So without much further ado, y'all, here's my Egypt trip in May of 2004. I'm going to let the thing play out because because I told you I went through some drama, right? So, because last time I attempted to record, I had some issues. I mean, not record. Last time I attempted to, because this episode 17, I told you I've been trying to get this to you. So the last time I attempted recording, and I recorded the whole thing. Trust me, nobody was more frustrated than I. But the music that I have tied to it and my voice was not coming through together. So what I'm going to do is make sure I play and stop, play and stop, play and stop. So you can hear whatever I might want to interject instead of me trying to talk as it's playing. It may work out, but I'm not going to take any chances because this is going to be a wrap. It's time for me to go to episode 18 after this episode 17. I've got things in my mind that I need to come straight to you with. I got it. And they're all good. They're all good. And it's all going to be getting better each and every day. So I'm so glad that you are here with me. But without further ado, let's go. I told you if I have something else to say, I will stop and tell you. Or I'm going to try to be right over here as we go. That's what I'm going to try to do. That's what I wanted to do. But I think you can figure it out. I'll stop if I need to talk. Enjoy. I'm gonna stop right here. You see, I landed in Egypt, and I was staying in Heliopolis, Egypt. I was staying in Heliopolis, Heliopolis, Heliopolis. Okay, it sounds hard, but if you spell it out, it's easy. So I was in Heliopolis, Egypt. It's really close to Cairo. I was at the Movenpick Hotel, just minutes from Cairo, like I said. And that was because everything was booked in Cairo. And as you can see, the people there were nice to me. They were instantly nice to me. I just got there, people. This picture is of me just getting there. I do believe. Remember, I gathered all these pictures up, but I had them in my photo album according to how each day went. So right now, I don't know how me and Guy is like friendly, but maybe this wasn't my day one, but I'm putting it here in my day one slides or video. Just enjoy. Okay. So the Egyptian guy was very nice to me, very respectful to me. But this guy and I were friendly, and as you can see, he is very nice. I don't know how we got this friendly so fast, but I was excited to be there, and they were excited to see me as a single woman traveling alone. No doubt I was interesting to them, and I can't resist a souvenir store. So there I was. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, so this was the next day, and I have to do this because, like I told you, I have some problems if I try to talk to you while the music is on, which is ideally what I would have wanted to do. But I'm not taking no chances this time that it's going to mess up and you can't hear me. That's just not going to be true. Cute. So I'm waiting outside for my tour guide right outside the Moving Pick. The Moving Pick is a nice hotel. So if you ever see Moving Pick on your hotel options, go on and go. It's nice. I gave you that little plug, Moving Pick. Okay. So yeah, I'm outside waiting for my tour guide, and what I wanted to make sure you know is make no mistake, I may travel alone, but it never dawned on me to just be sightseeing without a guide. It never dawned on me to sightsee without a guide. So my guide's coming, and I guess I better jump the gun and tell you this now because once my guide gets there and gets to me, he's like, "Well, where you want to go? Where you want to go first?" And so I said to ride a camel. I want to ride a camel and then see the pyramids. Okay, I want to ride a camel and see the pyramids. That's what I told him. What else would I want to do, right? Well, for me, there was nothing else I wanted to do. Let's go. Okay, I'm back. This is how we're gonna have to do it, honey. You're gonna have to bear with me. So I jumped into my tour guide. He had a little small van. I don't even really believe that it had any AC. I don't think so. And if it did, it's probably like blowing very slowly and poorly. Anyway, I was happy to be there. So I jumped in that very small van, and he took me here. Okay, where I seen that camel. So we're here, and the camel was there, and I knew then when I seen the camel, okay, because I was brave, like I want to go on a camel ride. But when I seen the camel, I knew then that I would only be getting on that camel, going up, take my picture, and then coming back down off that camel. He was such a skinny camel too, so just get me on and get me off. I told that to them, and they laughed at me, but they didn't care. They had my money right, so you know I paid for my services. And he was like, okay, we do whatever you want to do. And my guy was like, hey, that's what she wants to do. He made sure he relayed that to the gentleman, and it was all good. But first of all, before I even go in any further, I want to explain to you that okay, So a dromedary. I'm trying to spell it right, dromedary, and you're gonna see it soon. So a dromedary, one hump camel, is generally 1 to 2 feet taller than an average horse, with camels standing 6 to 7 feet at the shoulder compared to a horse's 5 feet at the withers. However, this varies by breed, and some large breeds like the Shire horse can be as nearly as tall as a camel. So, I wouldn't be trying to get on that horse either. Okay. I would not be trying to get on that horse either. Okay. Barely wanted to get on this camel who's supposed to be what he was doing. But I got on there. So let's just check it out. Okay, so you see, I got on that camel and it was all to the good, good. Homeboy wrapped me up in that little scarf because I was about to. Little did I know, I thought I was gonna get back in that van. Little did I know when he took me over there to the guy with the camel that my tour guide was gonna leave me with the camel guy. Anyway, I was all for it. As you can see, I got my hand up in the air. I'm like, let's do it. Okay, so it wasn't that far. It wasn't that far that I traveled to be here with the pyramids in Giza. Okay. So Giza is located in northern Egypt on the west bank. Egypt is located in northern Egypt on the west bank of the Nile River, just southwest of Cairo. It's part of the greater Cairo metropolis. I was 42 years old when I went to Egypt. Okay. I was 42 years old when I went to Egypt. And that's 20 years ago. Okay. Because I'm 62 now. Yeah. About like that. Sure thing. Okay. I don't know why I want to tell you that, but I just had to tell you that. It just came to me because I'm thinking, when was that? How old was I? I was thinking about how old was I? So, the great, oh, we're talking about the pyramids of Giza. Talking about the pyramids of Giza right now, okay? And you see there, I told you a little bit about them. And we're gonna just go on. Let's go. Okay, I must stop it. I'm sorry. I know you ready to see everything, and I'm ready for you to see everything. But I told you I can't, I'm afraid to continue and just talk through while the slides are going because I don't want to be over here looking like my mouth is moving, but you can't hear me. So I know when I stop and explain, then but we're gonna get through it. I'm not gonna be trying to hold you up. You know what I mean? Take it all your time, but you come back. Don't you leave us. You come back and check it out because I got wonderful photos to share. Got them all in this video for you. So the great Sphinx of Giza is enormous, an ancient limestone statue with a lion's body and a human's head. It was created in 2500. You see him back there? See him back there in the picture? In the video, the Great Sphinx of Giza, enormous back there by those pyramids. You can imagine um, how big it had to be. Lion's body, human's head, created in 2500 BC. And we all know BC means before Christ. Okay. And it was built by Pharaoh Kafur. Okay. Built by Pharaoh Kafur. It's the largest colossal sculpture in the world. Okay. It's the largest colossal sculpture in the world. Now, I did want you to see all that. I did want you to see all that. Wasn't that wonderful? Wasn't that a
Look what just
beautiful?
came in.
What did she talk about? Don't worry about it. We're not going with her. Okay, we're not going with her. This is where we want to be. This is where we're going to be, and this is our. I didn't see. I didn't want that to happen. That was one of them boop boops that I didn't want to happen. Why is she coming back into it? But what it was because I have like one, two, three, four, like five different videos that I want to show you. So when that video ended, it just tried to, go back to the front. So it is what it is. We seen the pyramids of Giza. Well, first I got on that camel, right? I got on that camel. I did not go nowhere. No, I didn't. He didn't walk around the yard. Okay. That camel had me up there. I don't even know how I got on the camel, to tell you the truth. But they managed to get my butt on that camel. I didn't want to say big butt, but they managed to get my butt on that camel. And when they did, I went up and I came right down. I was like, okay, take the picture. And I came down and I got off. And I was happy to get off, okay, because that was just too high for me. That was just too high for me. So I came on off that pyramids of Giza, honey. When you out there, you just feel like you won with something. It was burning hot, and I didn't care. I didn't care. I had to get this pyramid situation and burning hot, and you in the desert. So if you never been to the desert or El Paso, Texas, and maybe some parts of California, because I know it's desert everywhere over there too, right? But what I'm talking about is that desert in Egypt is hot. Okay. So I was out there and I really didn't, you don't focus on the heat. You just focus on the beauty of what you're seeing. Okay. But let's continue to move on because I got lots to share and I want you to be here with me. I want you to be here. I want you to have enough time to enjoy it all, to not be distracted, to not go away. Let's just continue. Okay. So that pretty much wrapped up my day one because back then, we didn't take pics of every moment like entering into stores or everything we ate. Those moments were treated more privately or not as valued, at least not for what an average person like myself was doing, you know. And so it's not like social media is now, you know, you need to see it all. Because I would have had pics of shawarmas and the roasted chicken that you eat in you know, in that kind of land, and the rice that they feed you. I would have had lots of pics, me going in and out of the souvenir shops. I would have, you know. Um, um, yeah, because I went like I said, because now, honey, if you eating a hot dog, we take a picture of that, okay? And somebody wants to see it, right? Yeah, it's true. You take a picture of everything. So it's day two, and my guy is gonna come and pick me up, and we're gonna head out to see, you know, more of what's out there in Egypt for me to see. Because you know, I told him I wanted to get on the camel, and then you know, let me see these pyramids. So there, uh, I believe there's more pyramids for us to see. Let's go on day two. Okay, I don't know these people. These were just people I ran into who were Americans just like me and happened to be there. And you know, if you see somebody who's just like you and happened to be there, you could be like, "Hi," and I took a picture of them. Okay, so these are the pyramids of Doja. This pyramid is 150 years older than the pyramids of Giza. It's located in Saqqara, south of Cairo, home to the oldest and largest archaeological site in that country. Okay, so I was wondering where we were going. I was like, am I tracking this right? I'm waiting for something else to show up and I didn't see it. So yeah, but here it is. Voila. Okay, and this is the statue of Ramses II at Memphis, Egypt, lying down because it was found in 1820 in pieces. Its position now, laying down, that position now, is a result of its being in fragments in the first place. So when they found it, you know, it was pretty tore up, but they managed to preserve what you're going to see now. Now, what we see here as far as the lion goes and why we see the pharaoh's head on lions' bodies is because it is said their grand appearance, strength, and ferocity. We're talking about the lion, right? The grand appearance and the strength and ferocity of a lion were surely qualities that pharaohs would want to emulate. So you see, the pharaoh is presenting himself as if he is as ferocious as a lion, as a lion. This gentleman right here is the gentleman who was my original tour guide. Well, he was the organizer. He was the organizer. He's the one that met me. Right now, they're sitting inside the moving pick. We're in the lobby. We're having conversations. And he brought his daughter with him to meet me. And so we're having conversations in the lobby of the moving pick that's in Heliopolis, um, Egypt. I was gonna say Heliopolis, Cairo, Heliopolis, Egypt. And he directs the people, okay, today you're going to have somebody who's going to take you here, today you're going to have somebody to take you there. He asks, in case there's a language barrier, because sometimes there just is, but they do know where they're going, and for the most part they can tell you a great deal about the history, um, that you're witnessing, what you're seeing out there as you go on the tour. So he came by and they just wanted to holler at me. I guess he wanted his daughter to see me, the American woman out there touring his country. And this is another day. This is another day. As you see, we getting ready to go into another day. We're getting ready to we're going right into. Actually, what we're doing is we're going into that evening. That's what we're doing. We're going into that evening. I done came back, did my boom, 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 showered, and I didn't shave, showered and got myself together. And for the evening, because guess where I'm going? Okay, first I did a whole lot of souvenir shopping. I wanted to mention that. I did a whole lot of souvenir shopping. Went back to my room, got my rest. I ate, like I said, took my shower, changed for the cruise, and I'm getting ready to go on that cruise on the Nile River. I let it out. I let the secret out. I meant not to tell you till later, but I let it out. Here we go. Hey, okay, we have an alibi. The next 12 pics that you're about to see is from day one out in Egypt. You can notice this is from day one because this is the I had the pink outfit on. I love wearing linen, and so I found a nice linen outfit that I like. This pink one, I believe there's a blue one, there's a green one. You're gonna see them all here because I do like linen, and I am in the desert, so you learn real fast that linen is your friend. Okay, so now we've reached the part that I do not ever plan to stop supporting and providing you the opportunity to do the same. This is just one way to empower Esthering 4GG to show your support. All okay, as you do know, okay? I had already taped that, but yes, this is how you can show your support. This is something I also have created. I've created my QR codes, and I've created on Eventbrite, as well as on my Esthering website, where you can go and purchase your t-shirt. I'm sorry, you can purchase your t-shirt as a donation for foster children on Eventbrite. Okay, the whole purpose of this right here is it's a run walk. There's a run walk, and it's going to be going on from now until December, okay, of this year. So anytime that you want to donate, anytime you want to include your in your donation, you're walking like I'm walking to support foster children, you purchase this t-shirt, you wear it when you do your walk, you take your pictures. I'm going to tell you this in this video, just in case I didn't. I'm telling you now. Okay, you purchase a t-shirt, you do your run walk, you take your pictures, you add it to social media, you hashtag Esthering 4GG run walk, and tag me the Esthering Queen, at the Esthering Queen, so I can get it and we all can share it. I want it to be a movement. I would love it to be a movement, because all proceeds are going to go to support foster children. All proceeds go to help foster children, and this is a fun way to do so. I look forward to seeing you in your t-shirts. Tag me at the Esthering Queen. Tag me at the Esthering Queen. Okay, so we got through that. What I wanted to tell you, because you seen I was on that cruise and I was on the Nile River. Okay, and the Nile River is largely the story of how it enables sustained ancient Egypt civilization. Nile River is largely the story of how it enabled sustained ancient Egypt civilization. The predictable annual flooding of the Nile created fertile black soil that made large scale farming possible. Agricultural agricultural surplus supported the growth of a thriving society, and it still does today. Now, I got this from Google. I'm a curious person, not a historian. So, with that, did you know? I have some did you knows for you. Okay. So, we're talking about this Nile River, right? Talking about the Nile River and how largely it's the story. When you talk about the Nile River, it's the story of how ancient Egypt civilization was sustained. Okay, I don't know how I said it earlier, but that's why I want to go back over it. And I still want to go back to the did you know? So did you know? Because I Googled it. I had to be like, let me just Google the Nile River so I can talk about it a little more, because everybody hears about the Nile River, and trust me, it is a big deal in Egypt. Okay, so it is the longest river. Check this out. It's the longest river on Earth. Okay, did you know that the Nile River? It's the longest. I'm sure I said that first. Longest river on Earth. The Nile River, the longest river on Earth. There's more than one Nile. Did you know that? Okay, you got to check it out. You got to Google like I Googled it. Okay, you got to Google like I Googled it. Okay, people spent centuries searching for its source, and it takes a strange detour in the desert. So this Nile River is, it's not just a body of water like we know all bodies of water. This story is a story that most Egyptians can tell you. This is what I loved about going to Egypt. You could probably ask anybody on the street. I guess they tell these stories to their kids. Okay, unlike, well, I can't say unlike us, because you know I'm African American, and so where's my history? I gotta dig for it. Okay, I gotta dig for it. First, I got to figure out who I am, and then I can go forward and dig for it. So, yeah, the Nile River is the longest river on Earth, and there's more than one. And people spent centuries searching for its source, like where it come from. Okay, and it takes a strange detour in the desert. Okay, its mud. I'm gonna stop saying okay. Its mud helped shape human history. It's mud. And they say that it's a haven for wildlife too. It's a haven for wildlife too. So that Nile River is a lot. I remember it just my whole cruise and being on the Nile River. I remember it to be very nice and entertaining, and more enjoying myself was done than taking photos. Plus, I would have stood out doing that. So, because it's just me on a cruise, on a local cruise boat on the Nile River. I don't know, maybe it wouldn't have looked strange, but I just decided to enjoy myself, then worry about taking the photos. Or like I said, this is not the time. But as you can see, I am a person. You see all these photos. I've always been the picture taker. I've always wanted to capture moments. So that's why podcasting to me is, you know, something that caught my eye. Something I was like, oh, I think I might like doing that. Even dealing with social media, the Instagrams, the TikTok. I get into it because I like capturing my moments. I do with my friends, with my loved ones, places I go, things I see, things I do. Don't worry about me. I'm going to be here. Okay. Because I like it. Because I like it. But back then, yeah, I wasn't taking any photos. Plus, I think, like I said, I think I would have stood out. So I just sat back and took in the lovely night air while cruising on the Nile River. I remember it seemed quick, but in that time, we were entertained and fed, and I enjoyed myself. Okay. And I enjoyed myself immensely. Okay, let's see what we're doing now. Let's see what we're doing now, people. We're not doing that. We're doing this. Okay, wait a minute now. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because I already see that I've kind of did already here. But I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this. I have arrived here, okay, after a 4 hour ride from Cairo to Alexandria, Egypt. I've arrived, okay? And so this is where I'm at, okay? I'm in Alex. Okay, there's with that okay word. We don't want to say that no more. Let's see how many more times I'm going to say that, and you know I don't want to say it, okay? Oh, sorry. Sorry. Okay. I'm in Alexandria, Egypt, and share these pics I'm taking while I was there and all the souvenirs I bought. And you'll want to, you might want to get some if you're ever in Egypt. And at least while in Egypt, you'll get to see the souvenirs and shop and the things that you can only really get in Egypt. So check it out. Check it out. Check it out. And you definitely, if you see these souvenirs and you like them, you'll only be able to get them reasonably priced in Egypt. Reasonably priced in Egypt, like that. So yeah, I arrived in Alexandria, Egypt. Alexandria, Egypt, and I want you to check out this journey. Right, I was driven there by the guy who picked me up every day, not the gentleman you seen with the daughter. Okay, remember I told you he's the one who organizes, pretty much set me out like this is who you're going to go with today, this is who's going to take you here, there. And so he has pretty much this guy I had the first day, the one who dropped me off by the camel, it was him who drove me out there to Alexandria, where I am right now, where you see me in this blue shirt. Okay, 4 hours from Heliopolis or Cairo, if you want to say, because Cairo is like right next door to Heliopolis. But I lived in Heliopolis at the Movenpick, so yeah, 4 hours from when he picked me up. And once there, I was handed to a really nice lady whose name I'm not going to try and act like I remember, but I think it was Hildy or Heidi. I hope she sees this, recognizes me, maybe recognizes these pictures. Okay, she might not recognize me with Miss Gray Hair Lady. Okay, now, oh, I said that word right now. Yeah, and corrects me if I said her name wrong, Hildy or Heidi. Gildy. I can't remember, but I hope she sees this, like I said, and correct me. I love to know what her name actually is. So sorry, ma'am, if you see it, and I'm just jacking up, excuse me, and I'm just jacking up your name. But she was very comforting and very knowledgeable. And as we walked through the corridors of Alexandria, I was enlightened by the architectural and Mediterranean feel, and most in awe of the port city on the Mediterranean Sea, full, full, and the deepest blue waters. Okay, in awe of the port city on the Mediterranean Sea, full and the deepest blue waters that seem to command respect. It's a beautiful sight to see and feel. It's a beautiful sight to see and feel. Let's get you in on it. Okay, that's my tour guide. You just seen her, and you see now here where I'm at this the port city area, and you've seen how full and blue, how full and deep blue. When I say full, how high up it is, how high up that water is. That's the full I'm talking about. Okay, and that deep blue sea. Okay, let's stop right there so you can get a chance just to take a long look at me enjoying the Mediterranean Sea. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. I sat there and trust me and just, meditated in it for a minute, okay? Marinated in it for a minute, okay? There's that word, okay? Another fun fact about me that I want to share is that I love palm trees. I believe they are mood changing for the betterment of soothing and healing and peace. Who can be engulfed in a tropical environment with palm trees and not feel calm? Okay. You ever get off, there's the word, you ever get off the plane in an area like Florida or Hawaii, um, yeah, Florida or Hawaii, because I was just thinking about Miami real quick, but Orlando, Florida, period, and just not be like, oh, because that's how you're gonna feel. That's how you're gonna feel around those palm trees. And I got something to share with you about the palm trees. But before we do that, I know you're ready to see what's going on. Let's go on. So before we get out of Alexandria or the pics that I have. Oh no, but I do have a lot more to share with you because this lady takes me to a place where I absolutely explore more about Alexandria. But oh, we look at okay, we got a couple of palm trees here that you can look at. Not a great view right now, but I did already go into talking about why I love palm trees, or that I just know that I love palm trees. And so that also made me want to hit Google up because I was like, what's the benefits of a palm tree? Because I know how much I love a palm tree and I know how it makes me feel. And it's real. It's a real situation, right? So I looked up the benefits of palm trees, and what I found, this is the first time. This is the first time I looked up what the benefits of a palm tree was. And what I found was astounding to me. It was amazing, and it's gonna make me go and do some things. Okay, so the benefits of the palm tree. Here we go. Number one, and number one on my charts for anything, and the benefits that I'm looking for from anything, which happens to be the benefit of a palm tree, is weight loss. Did you know that? Oxygen levels. Did you know that? I knew that when I'm in the presence of like plenty palm trees, like when you get off the plane and you're in Orlando and you come outside, you're like, you feel something. Same way in Miami. Same way in Hawaii. Okay. I thought it was like I was in paradise when I landed in Hawaii. I was like, I'm in paradise. The reason why you feel like that probably has a lot to do with those palm trees. Air purifying, weight loss, oxygen levels, palm trees. I mean, air purifying, weight loss, oxygen levels, purifying, and get this, the benefits of a palm tree is that it helps your blood sugar levels, increase property value. Okay, we give it that because we know, hey, if it has all those other values, it's got to have an increased property value, but just the beauty of it increases your property value. They're low maintenance. The palm tree helps your heart health. Just the palm tree itself is a benefit. Okay. Because, like I said, it increases your property value, right? And then some places, somewhere, palm trees, I guess, are used for thatching for the roofs and walls. But for me, weight loss, oxygen levels, air purifying, that's all the good. Now, probably going to mention it later, but I'm going to mention it right now because when we talk about those benefits of the palm tree, we're talking about what the palm tree um, produces. Okay, and it's inside of that palm tree. It's inside of that palm tree. We're going to talk about that later, and so we're going to move on. Okay, just a little bit. We're gonna move on just a little bit, but you see, they had thrown me in the boat with this gentleman who is gonna take me now on a tour. With while I'm on the boat, I'm going on a tour. I would love to have been able to just talk through this with you, but I have to stop and get through what I want to say because I want to make sure that we capture a good recording as well as the video, as well as you being able to hear me. Trust me, let me tell you something. No, I was gonna say if this don't go through, then guess what? Episode 17 gonna be like it didn't happen. I'm gonna have to change everything about episode 17. It will not be this, okay? Because I'm not going to. There's that word again, okay? So because I'm not going to let that bother me, I'm gonna push through. Sometimes some things you just gotta keep on moving forward for your peace. And I'm about that peace now. Okay, so I have a story for you. Is that okay? Again, the story of the lost city near Alexandria involves, because remember I was sitting on that bank at the port looking at that beautiful Mediterranean Sea that was that deep blue color. So that was a beautiful color. I'm sorry. If you looked at that and you didn't see that beautiful Mediterranean Sea that was deep blue color, maybe I need to show it to you more or something. I didn't have more pictures to show, unfortunately. But that okay, there's a story about those waters is why I wanted to go back and let you know about that. There's a story about those waters, and the story is of the lost city, okay, near Alexandria. It involves two interconnected submerged cities, Thonius, uh, Herculean, and Canopus, as well as parts of ancient Alexandria's own royal quarters found by underwater archaeologists in the late 20th and 21st centuries. So, what they found underneath those waters where I was sitting is buried cities. Okay. So, yeah. So they say near Alexandria. It's the same body of water is what I'm saying. So these ruins were swallowed up by the sea due to geological factors, including earthquake, tsunamis, and soil uh, liquefaction. Liquefaction. I can say the word. I can say the word. All right. Uh, mythological significance. The mythological significance is that the Greek historian Herodotus wrote that the hero Hercules himself first set foot in Egypt here. Okay, and that was, you know, back when you was looking at Alexandria. But this is still the same. I'm just on the waters now, and they're gonna give me a tour still, and they're giving me a tour of Alexandria and the cities near there on this boat tour. Okay, and you're going to get a chance to see that. So yeah, it was also fabled as the place where Paris and Helen of Troy sought refuge before the Trojan War. Cleopatra's royal quarters, the palace in the harbor not far from Thonis Herculeon in Alexandria's eastern harbor lie the remains of Cleopatra's palace complex, all under under them waters. Not these waters, because this is just a little uh makeshift tour that they're taking me on, and I'm on that boat. But there, nobody's taking you on that Mediterranean Sea that you've seen me sitting nearby. But this is as if, okay, this is as if. Okay. So, and my tour guide, he did know all the stories and he did tell them well. Um, my tour guide. So let me just get back to this because there's a lot. There is a lot to be said. Okay, I just want to pause you right here. So what you're just seeing is the daily lives of Egyptians back when is what they're trying to show us. Back when I'm on that boat and I'm just going around, and these people were actually there. Those are not statues, they're actually there and they're going through the motions and trying to give me a feel of what was back in the day. remember to comment, subscribe, like. I'm about to take you into show. I'm about to show you now. I'm sorry. I'm about to show you now the souvenirs that I purchased. The video didn't come out as well as I would like for it to have come out, as far as like getting up close to the souvenirs, but you will be able to see the souvenirs that I purchased, at least somewhat of them. Um, I got some pretty ones to show you, some nice things to show you. Be prepared if you go to Egypt to buy a lot of souvenirs, though. They have a lot of things that you can get very reasonably priced. I don't see why anyone wouldn't grab up a whole lot of them. I don't see why they. What we're not doing is going back. Okay, what we're not doing is going back. What we're doing is getting this price. Hold on 1 minute. I want to make sure that I took you. Okay, yeah, you're there. Okay, so what we see right here, let me just get together here. What we see right here is the eye of Horus. Okay, but first we want to talk about the paper that it's on. It's on a paper called papyrus. Papyrus comes from the papyrus plant, scientifically known as Cyprus papyrus, which is native to the Nile Delta in Egypt and other marshy areas along the Nile River. It feels like some kind of very thin version of dried bamboo. It's what it feels like to me. Okay, we've all seen bamboo dry. Maybe we all haven't, but I'm just saying dried bamboo, its thinnest version is what this paper feels like to me. It's pretty special. So what you see here now is what they were able to create for me. Just I didn't have to come back to the store. I said, "Oh, I want that and that," and they did it. So this is the Eye of Horus. Eye of Horus is an ancient Egyptian symbol representing protection, healing, and royal power. That Eye of Horus. You see people wearing it as a charm, all that. The Eye of Horus is still, very much around, and people know at least what the symbol means. So what you see next to the Eye of Horus here is um, a picture of what they call a cartouche. Okay, the outline of all those other little figures, the outline of what's going on is what's going on inside that outline. The outline is considered to be called a cartouche, as if it was a pendant. And inside the cartouche is my daughter's uh, initials, her name. It's not her initials, her name. Inside of the cartouche is my daughter's name spelled out in hieroglyphics. So let's just check it out. You'll see. Let's just check it out. You'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. There's that word. Okay, I wanted to say, yes, it was my daughter's name is Kaisha, and in that, we're gonna go back on that one for a minute here. I want to take you back on that one. Okay, wait. I want to take you back. Oh, let's one more time. One more time. I'll try to do it one more time. Okay, there we go. There we are. So Kyiesha, and the K is represented by that cup. The Y is represented by those two feather-like things, and then the I is, I don't know what that is, and then the E is another similar feather situation. You're going to see it because I'm going to show you the hieroglyphic um, alphabet chart. You're going to be able to see everything about these letters and what they mean. Here we go. All right, there it is. And if you want a copy of this Egyptian hieroglyphic, the Egyptian, why am I tripping? The Egypt hieroglyphics alphabets, if you want a copy of it, it's in my bio. It's in the descriptions. Okay, it's not in my bio. It's in the description. It's below. You can get it. You can get it free. Okay, so just go on down there, click on the link, and you'll be able to print it out. Let me know if you're having a problem. And if it's not, then just hit me up. If it's not down there, just hit me up, and I'll gladly hit me up in the comments and say, yeah, I want the hieroglyphic, the Egyptian hieroglyphic alphabet chart, and I'll send it to you. Just do that. Just do that in case you don't. All right, let's go. Okay, so now what you're gonna see, I'm saying okay now in the right text. Before I was just saying it for to be saying it, but now what you see is two cartouches, what they call a cartouche. It's a pendant, what we call a pendant. Okay, because it's just a drawing of that cartouche. Earlier I was jacking it all up, but right now I got it together. I got it together, y'all. So it's a drawing of a pendant, and inside that pendant drawing is now my daughter's name. If you noticed it to the right, you still see that cup, those two feather-like things, all the things you've seen before in the previous uh, picture, and now it's my name and my daughter's name, and Cleopatra in the middle. You did guess that, right? Yeah. So there it is. And you can get those cartouches made in gold, silver, however you like, right there in Egypt. They make it for you. You can come back in hours, be like, I want that in I want that in my name in silver, and they'll make it for you in hours. Gold, you might have to come back the next day for, but they'll make it for you. And this is an Egyptian calendar. I really don't want to go too much into that, but isn't it beautiful? I have it today, as I do all that other stuff. Okay, let's see what we got here. If you can see it, see, this is what I was talking about. It wasn't a good, this didn't come out that well, but on top, you'll see I got a couple of cartouches, I got some t-shirts, got some necklaces. Souvenir shopping is wonderful in Egypt. And below you'll see I have some more paintings that are on the papyrus. Okay, this one right here, this particular painting is a painting of a final judgment day. I have it still to this day. I have it. Matter of fact, I've never even I've taken it out and looked at it. It's still in the tubing that they gave me to take it home with. I've never framed it yet, and unfortunately, I have never framed it because it's rolled up, and it's gonna when I try to unroll it, I see that it's trying to separate. It's actually was made with actual gold around it. All the colors you see, the gold and the silver at least, are real gold and silver. And this is the Judgment Day. And what you have here is a, did we miss it? With the blinking, with the going through. Let's see if we can get back to it. No, we can't. Oh yeah. Well, what I'm just trying to show you is that they're showing that this is the Judgment Day. This is some jackal escorting the person, you know, like to the judge who's gonna say, you know, you live or you die, you've been good or bad. It's just an ancient uh, description or, you know, painting of that Judgment Day. See all the papyrus stuff. You see the Nefertiti up there, Nefertiti, and then you see all of the different bookmarks that I have. I run across a few of them every now and then. I'm like, oh, because they're in pristine condition still, because I've never even taken them out of the plastic. And when I do, I put them right back. And you see, I have a lot of silver pendants, and even one gold one, even a gold Nefertiti that I bought for a real close girlfriend at the time. a postcard collector. Everybody buy most people buy postcards and they want to just write on it. I do that too. I will do that too. I buy postcards when I go somewhere and I have to mail them. I give them to the concierge to mail for me. People at the desk of the hotel to mail for me. But I also collect them, and I still have my postcards. I have them to this day. Those postcards. Okay, now I must talk to you just a tad bit more. Tell you about the cartouches and all that other good stuff, but I must talk to you about the Egyptian oils. Okay, just so you get a little bit about it. I'm sure I got something I want to share. So, what makes Egyptian natural oils different? These Egyptian natural oils different from the oils you can buy anywhere else? And that answer comes from Egypt's special environment, rich soil, and old traditions of growing healing plants. Egypt's warm weather and good ground helps plants grow that make oils full of nutrients and healing properties. If you have made it this far with me, thank you so very much, and I really do appreciate you. There's more that I learned in Egypt, and there's one more thing that always comes to mind when I hear um, people say I'm going to Cairo. I wonder if they will hear the amazing historical stories I was told. I wonder if they will hold Egypt as in high regard as I do. Egypt is Africa. That's what I learned. That was, however, that's not what I learned. That's what I want to say. That's not what I learned. Egypt is Africa, and that's not what I learned. That was, however, a big why I went. So that was a big reason why I went to Africa. Um, to Egypt, but I always knew that Egypt, I learned it. Maybe my mother told me it. I don't think I learned that in school. And if I did, it was like, like a quick Egypt is Africa kind of thing. But I didn't know when I went to Egypt that it was Africa, part of Africa, you know what I'm saying? And that was a big reason why I went. So that my first trip was to Africa. Okay, so to the motherland in 2004. Okay, so I still wanted to do a little Googling, and so I asked, and I was told Egypt is primarily located in Africa. It is situated in the northeast corner of the African continent, with the majority of its landmass in Africa. However, Egypt is a transcontinental country because of the Sinai Peninsula. A part of Egypt extends into Southwest Asia, forming a land bridge between the two continents. And the reason why I wanted to pull this up and say this and share this with you is because, is mainly because a lot of people don't see Egypt as Africa. A lot of people want to say, "Oh, it's Africa, but it's shared with something else, like Southwest Asia." So that's what made me do a little more research as I was going to bring this to you. I had to know a little more about why, because even some Egyptians, I kind of want to act like no, seriously, you do have parts of Africa where the people are trying to act like they're not African. Like they want to, like, what are you? Okay, you're in Africa. Okay, Egypt is part of Africa, and if you're Egyptian, then you're what? Tell me what it is. Okay, I can't explain it. I can't explain it. I can't explain it. Yeah, I'm a New Yorker. Okay, but New York is in America. So I'm an American. So if you are an Egyptian and you are in Africa, okay, you're an African. It's as simple. It's simple. But what I want to do first, before I go on with my rant about the Egypt and the reason why, Egypt is sometimes people want to just say it's Egypt, but there's other parts of it, eh, like lending to. I just want to explain how Egypt is Africa, and that's that. That's what I want to explain. It doesn't matter because it's such a small part of Egypt that they want to say belongs to something else. Okay, when in actuality, it's Egypt that has just extended over to something else. It's still all Egypt. It's still all Africa. We're going to talk about that, but first, I want to get off my horses. Let's talk about how good they are. Okay, get your oils ready. Okay, so I did mention that I'm on this thing now. I'm harping. I'm harping on the fact that Egypt is Africa, and I want to show you first. Here we go. Egypt is Africa. You see it. Now, you see Egypt and Africa in different colors here, and I'm a little disturbed by that. I don't like that idea because if it's Egypt is Africa and it is, why not it all just be purple and you just have the lines that separate the cities within Africa as it should be, right? As it should be. But we're going to need to move on a little further. And then, so Asia is being depicted in an orange color, Egypt in the yellow, and Africa in purple. And I've already talked about how I feel about that. Okay, how I feel about that. Let's go a little further for I'm getting a little excited and I'm talking and I'm hoping that you can hear me. And if not, I am sorry. Okay, so yes, we see here they have Egypt. What we see, Egypt was in yellow, Africa was in purple, and for the life of me, I don't know why that is, but it's okay. It was a little confusing to me. But next, what we have here, still, I'm not liking why all of it's not one color representing Africa, and let the lines define the separation of the three. But we're going to get to the nitty gritty of the truth of what's going on here because it is said that, Egypt and the Southwest Asia is sharing a part. But we need to know, like, what part. We need to know, like, what part of Egypt is being shared with Asia. So, so much so that you have people almost then, wanting to say there's something else. Okay? Wanting to say that they could be something else, or that I understand that there could be an influx once some people are so close to each other, that they will mix, if you will. But Egypt is Africa, and that's just it. Because you see here, now you see Libya and Sudan, and we all know that's Africa. And I don't understand why they all still can't be the same color and just have the lines separating it. Maybe they just want to, in this case, just point out the different cities, states. Let's go. Okay, here. This is the voila moment. Now we're down to the nitty gritty. The truth, which is 6% of Asia is shared with Egypt because of the Sinai Peninsula extending into Asia. Okay? Because, Sinai is Africa. So because of the Sinai Peninsula, and I've been there. I've been in Sinai. I was there on a work mission, but yeah, I was there in a work capacity at the time that I was in Sinai, not too long ago. So because of the Sinai Peninsula extending into Asia, making that what they call the transcontinental connection. Okay, that was a light bulb moment for me because with this 6%, and actually that 6% all could be still the same color because it all still is Africa. It's just hanging over there. 6% of it. That peninsula. I can go back and show you that peninsula because I do want to. I do want to. I do want to. Okay, that peninsula. You see that little piece just hanging over? That's the 6%. It's Egypt. Egypt is Africa. I don't need to tell you that. I don't need to tell you that. Okay, now let's enjoy the final footage of this episode 17 of the Esthering podcast. Here's what I've learned. Okay, so on my last day, I went back out to another museum. And in this particular museum, everything in there is like in a sandbox. And everything in those sandboxes is showing you the cities of Egypt and, their buildings. Also, they're showing you the pyramids. Also, they're showing you how they believe the pyramids were built. And they absolutely have illustrated what they believe was how the Egyptians back in the day built these pyramids. And it was just wonderful to see it in like a sandbox form. So enjoy. See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? Those little itty bitty things you see are men like pulling on rope and trying to put this monument up. Amazing. So I finally made it back and that day. And I'm friends with everybody by now. I'm friends with everybody by now. I'm the only black woman in the hotel. Okay. 42 years old, so I'm not that old. So, but I am the only old enough. Okay. And I'm the only black woman in the hotel. The thing is, everybody's nice to me. Okay. Everybody was nice to me. And we're saying our final goodbyes. Okay, and so here you see me out visiting a mosque, or kind of cathedral, if you will. All right, but these places are beautiful. Check it out. okay, I must talk about this. It's like last. The holy journey in Egypt is the flight of the Holy Family. That's what's being depicted here in this um, pottery or ceramic kind of display. I'm in a church. I'm in a church, and this is depicting the holy journey in Egypt. It's the flight of the Holy Family. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph took, okay, to Egypt to escape King Herod's decree to kill the infant boys in Bethlehem. I think we all know that story. I think we all know that story. So for me, I did a whole lot of little research even when I came across this, when I came back across this, because I'm the one that took this picture, right? So, um, yeah, the holy journey, just to think about Jesus, Mary, and Joseph um, going to Egypt from Bethlehem, it lets you just know, just how close Bethlehem uh, was to Egypt, even though their journey there, because I did look it up, their journey there was pretty long. It was a pretty long journey, but they made it because after all, it's Jesus, Mary, and Joseph taking that journey, right? So, and we all know about that King Herod. Okay, if we don't know about the King Herod, you're gonna have to go and read about him because he was just a guy who just wanted to be a big time narcissist who wanted everything to be about him. And when he heard about the baby Jesus even being born, he didn't want that attention going to Jesus. He knew what was the stories that had been told about Jesus coming, and now he's here. He said, not in my town, not in my town where we have this baby King Jesus born, and he become who he's supposed to become. Here's what I'm going to do. And he set out a decree to kill all the babies, all the baby boys in Bethlehem, because Jesus was born in Bethlehem, right? Remember, in the manger. And he wasn't having it, but he didn't know who he was dealing with, or he should have known, but he wasn't smart enough to know that there was nothing he was going to be able to do to stop what God had for us. All right. And that was Jesus. So that's it for today. Thank you so very much. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, please don't forget to like, comment, and describe. Be Esthering. Bye. Okay. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for watching it. And like I said, please like, comment, and subscribe, and be Estering each and every day out here in these streets. And if this is the first time you've seen me, you watched it all, you got here, okay? You got to know when I say be Estering, what that means. That means performing acts for greater good. When you're out here Estering in these streets, that's exactly what you're doing. You're performing acts for a greater good. And all I'm going to say is bye.